Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think, General Perna, you pretty much cleared this up in your opening statement, and yet people are still, I think a lot of them in the media are saying that they claim that there is no plan for distribution of the, after it was approved. Now, I know this isn't true, but is there anything that you didn't cover in your opening statement, real briefly, to counter this? Because that's the statement they got to quit talking like that.
So, Senator, thank you. And as you and I have discussed many times, there was
You might talk about what that plan was first and how that was changed or has been improved since December.
Sure. So, initial plans, in support of the directive specified mission, develop, manufacture, and deliver vaccines were very elaborate and well-defined as we had to figure out what were the vaccines, what we were going to pursue for development, to neck it down from many possibilities down to 6. We had to look at the manufacturing capacity in the country and abroad to make sure that we had capability and capacity. We did very detailed work and analysis to ensure that we had both drug substance, development of the product, and drug product, which is the eventual fill finish. We had to make sure that space existed and that we had priority, and we had to execute it in a very precise manner to that end. And then we had to manage and plan for the product coming off of the conveyor belt, right? Normal, usual execution when we make influenza vaccine, it's an order. The country orders vaccine, the pharmaceutical companies produce it, and then they deliver it. In this case, what we did is we were manufacturing it. We started 6 months ago so that we would get through the process and have vaccines available as early as December.
And General, I agree with that, and I think that it was best said, as I mentioned in my opening statement, by Francis Collins, who was an Obama appointee, that it was just breathtaking, the miracle that took place. And I put it in that category, and I appreciate that response. But we're running out of time.
I apologize.
Secretary Cummins, I want to ask you something I found out, and I was surprised to find this out, and that was something, I believe it came from HHS, that 80% of our needle and syringe supply has come from China. Is that correct? And then what are we going to do to try to get back on top of this?
That is correct, and we have assisted HHS with transportation to get those needles and syringes into the United States to support the delivery of vaccines. We have an opportunity to leverage both the authorities of the Defense Production Act, but also the authorities of the Economy Act to invest in syringes and needles. We have actually invested in some innovative technology for vaccine delivery to increase the domestic production here in the United States so that those capabilities can be made here.
So you're aware of this and are addressing this problem. It was a surprise to me to hear this. Do you feel you're on the road to resolving that problem?
We are on the road to seeking solutions to that problem. We have made some investments to date, and I think that there are more investments to be made in the future.
That's good. Good work. The last thing I wanted to bring up, because this is a thing that is, I have a hard time understanding why it's true, but there's so many people are reluctant to use the vaccine. The figure that I would use in a recent study, 1 out of 3 American adults said that they definitely or probably won't get the vaccine when it becomes available. That's a shocker to me because it's not, first of all, it's not just them, it's others that are affected by their willingness to get the vaccine. So I'd like to ask you or any of the witnesses, what are we doing right now to try to educate people as to why it's necessary to have this vaccine?
Senator, I can talk about what the Defense Department is doing. More broadly, I think some of the things that we're doing would be helpful. There's a lot of misinformation out there about the vaccine. The vaccine is safe, as General Perna has pointed out, as many have pointed out. I think that what we need to do is ensure that we have the right level of education and awareness that goes on out there. From a DoD perspective, obviously we use our military chain of command. And the opportunity to educate and train people and to clear up those misconceptions can be very helpful. We've seen that happen in the Defense Department. We've only been at this for about 60 days, but where we've seen vaccine rates a little bit lower, acceptance rates, the commands are getting involved, providing education forums, having the opportunity to have town halls and those types of things to provide that insight.
Yeah, that's good. And last week, I think it was stated that one-third of the service members are opting out. And so I'm glad you're addressing that, because it's, we're concerned about the whole public, but definitely our service members. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.